Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Space Diesel. It is becoming less and less green diesel because, and that's the one based on weed when I'm high and do the podcast high, because Sadhguru has taught me that the cannabinoid system can be used by the body itself and is designed to be used by the body itself in the pineal gland. The excretions of the pineal gland are designed to fit into the cannabinoid receptors instead of having to smoke weed. And I am getting away from that and into a more positive, light-based lifestyle. I am getting into yoga a lot more. I am getting into the things I learned in college and a little bit of grad school studying Chinese medicine a lot more, and getting back to that lifestyle that I was living in college when I would use fermented grains and tofu and all of that stuff. And I'm going to be 100% macrobiotic. So I am confident that I've had my last pizza, and although I will still keep bread around because eating bread is a way to stop being hungry when you need food, I'll learn out of that and get out of that. And I look forward to my last piece of bread, because even bread and flour is not necessary. Many people subsist on a macrobiotic diet. It is a clean, healthy way of living. What have I been up to? These types of things. You will know what I've been up to as an inspiring bodhisattva. Okay? Why am I telling you all these things? Because you have the potential to make great changes, and one day these things will be significant when I reach that huge millionaire lifestyle, reach the results I'm looking for, have an exercise regimen every day, run regularly, do an increasing number of push-ups and sit-ups and calisthenic exercises and lifts and curls during the day. So I never ever speak of these things to be boastful. I am not actually boastful. It makes, and I always feel that what I say will not be watched and it will be thought of as boastful, just me jabbering about bullshit. But I want you to realize that the things I'm describing here are going to make me a millionaire. These are methods that work for ancient people, and I just have had enough being a wage slave. I can tolerate it no longer. 2022 has to be the year I get rich. 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. Made that his motto and did get rich. He didn't die, he got rich. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. What does it take? Well, it takes health. Health is wealth. So health is number one. The things I'm describing work for everybody. There is no one I can imagine that can't benefit from a macrobiotic diet. Macrobiotic diets are free of sugar, excess carbs. They don't have refined product. They don't have processed foods in them. You make your own food at least once a day. You're going to cook, you're going to enjoy making a recipe from scratch, and it is really easy to cook. People don't realize you can cook something pretty fast and still it can taste great. Tofu does not need to take a long time heating up. I like to heat it with oil, but there's many ways to cook tofu, and that is one of the staples of the macrobiotic diet as far as I know. But you can also get your protein from legumes, and many other sources of protein go undescribed, like mushrooms used to be considered a protein back before the FDA changed their measurement of the complete protein that you would get from mushrooms. I was told that in the past the values were much higher. In older books and older manuals, the protein values for mushrooms were significant. So mushrooms are still a significant source of protein, I think, but I'm not going to make that claim because that claim isn't currently being made by people, by medical doctors and by professionals. So legumes, that is a great staple. Soybeans among them. I think it's a myth that men should not eat soybeans or that they will be affected or turned into women by eating soybeans. It is a yin food. Yes, it is a cold food, and it is a yin food in the respect that it activates those yin hormones in the body like estrogen. But there's nothing inherently wrong with having active estrogen as a man. Just that, you'll be softer, you'll be more artistic, just like me. You'll be a yin sort of guy, but eventually, if you have the determination, you can make yourself yang. And so, when I was in college, I ate a lot of beans. I ate soldier beans a lot. I would go to the farm and get them by the bagful and eat them fresh, make them and cook them in a slow cooker. And they were great with rice or on one of those little corn tortillas, taco tortillas that were available, at the local discount store. And I hung around spiritual people and in spiritual communities, and I went to Buddhist meetings as much as I could, and that worked for me. That really improved my life. That really was worth doing. And now, because I did that, and because I got that degree in creative writing, I can now call myself a writer. Just lately, I've grown accustomed to it. I'm actively writing a novel, and I've had this idea for a couple of years, didn't know how to work it out or what to do with it, had too many hours, obstacles in the script, and now I'm coming to terms with what it means to write a script. There is emotion involved, because, in theory, writing cannot be all just sunshine and rainbows. It has to be some conflict. The characters have to do stuff. They have to face conflict. They have to lose stuff and maybe get it back and improve their lives and stuff like that. It has to happen. It happens in my life. It happened in your life, and it has to happen. So there are emotional highs and lows, I find, when writing. Part of that is because during the writing process I've often used marijuana, and I now find that high and low, that mania and depression is just a side effect of marijuana. So, with that said, that may be half the problem and half the battle right there. I am perfectly great at acting or writing as much as I am an amateur without weed. Okay? I am finding that I need it less and less. I am using hypnosis now, self-hypnosis, to make the suggestion that I'm going to quit, to make the suggestion that this macrobiotic lifestyle is going to be the way for me, okay? And I have no regrets already realizing that the Tao is putting these things into fruition, that this could be and probably will be the year that I'm going to be a millionaire. Let's just say it's going to be the year I'm going to be a millionaire, because I need it to be, okay? And I'm not going to report to a boss any longer. I'm not going to call a person my boss ever again. After this, I'm going to write for my readers, and I'm going to be very grateful for my readers and one day my viewers when I write screenplays and I'm involved in that, because I did well in the screenplay class and I had organic material and ideas, and people did appreciate and enjoy it and give me good information about it and good feedback and criticism about it, and they liked the way I write. Why did they like the way I write? Well, for one thing, art is a talent that you are born with. You're a natural. But I was raised the right way to be a writer by literary people My parents, love books, and they are very into reading and writing also. And I was raised that way. So at some point, there has to be time to read. There has to be time to enjoy. Okay? Working as even a 40-hour week makes it really hard at times, depending on when the 40 hours are and what your other responsibilities are and everything and the context to do those things. So just wage slavery is not going to work for me any longer. Some of you may benefit from my writing. I have released a book on recovery. It is sort of recovery in the spiritual sense. Recovery just means getting over any mental illness, any mental obstacles that you have, even if it's just you have a lot of ill-serving ideas, or you have a lot of limiting beliefs. That can be something you recover from. But generally it refers to addiction or a mental disorder or just an issue that you have and carry with you in your life. And my book on recovery is designed from a perspective of a student of therapy. So I'm in no way a therapist yet, and I haven't had the experience, and I haven't had the practice hours. I'm a newbie, but it is what I believe is a good piece of writing. I put my mind into it, and I read it over and over again, and I revised it, and I believe that I was in a good place mentally when I wrote it, that it shows that I have recovered from my issues, and that it can help you do the same. It's probably, what could it hurt? It's like $9 on Amazon as a Kindle or as a book, and it's a brief, short, to the point book. Now, I'm not saying it's my best, and it's certainly nowhere near where I will be when I follow the macrobiotic diet and lifestyle, and my mind is right, and I'm a healer, and I have it together because of great time management practices and effective work on myself and effective that active lifestyle and that athleticism that's going to happen. Okay, in this phase, we're just getting over excuses. Excuses are really easy to hold us back. There's a lot of them, and it takes a while to get over them all. Unfortunately, in most cases, it's not possible to quit excuses cold turkey. I've done the best that I could. There's not really an explanation for why I'm not exercising other than having a sedentary job and being stuck in here doing a work at home job, which turns out to be an albatross around the neck because of the environment I'm in and everything, just the job that I have that I don't have any interest in and everything. So am I recovered? Mentally, yes, mentally I'm recovered. I'm not recovered from workaholism. I'm not recovered from having to struggle to pay the bills. I'm not recovered from that, and I'm working on it. I think that if you watch this show or watch my presentations or whatever I put online in a year, you'll see some definite progress. I believe that you will see progress from watching the first video till now. I'm pretty confident that you'll see that. And what does it involve? It has involved self-hypnosis. I learned self-hypnosis from an audio tape and book set that I used to have, and it was great. It taught me how to just automatically enter a hypnotic state without really trying to, just with a few commands, and it's very easy. I hope you get the book, and I hope you get, I'll link it below, the book that I read, or the audio set, and I recommend it, and that's what caused me to move into hypnosis. The only reason I am studying therapy, I have said before, is I am trying to advance the field of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. I want to be a licensed therapist to legitimize my craft, to have that added dimension of ability to help people through their mental issues and through anything that's holding them back from great results and effective life, vibrant lifestyle. But it all comes together. And it's not without the hypnosis, and it will not be without the hypnosis training. Getting a course, a nice course, maybe a 700-hour course in hypnotherapy, and training to that level in addition to the master's degree. These are the things that I am doing to ensure effectiveness, to ensure results, to ensure my life amounts to something. Now, I have talked in the past about network marketing. I have decided I'm through with network marketing. I don't want to deal with that. It's another whole dimension of making other people wealthy, not being interested in what you're doing, and not being behind it, unless you have the right product, of course. And so Amway, I gave up Amway. I found that you can go to Whole Foods and buy a $10 bottle of calcium pills that are vegan and better sourced than the expensive coral calcium that Amway has. I'm not going to put down Amway. There's still people that are involved in that. And things happen. It could be that I have to sell a product in order to subsist, or that network marketing is one way that I will make that $1 million. But that's not what I want to do. I want to make $1 million by writing. I want to be known as a holistic lifestyle person and a life coach, and that's how I'm going to do it. So it's going to be by organic means. It's going to be by my own products. There's Amazon merch. If you go on Amazon, you can open a free account with your Amazon account, or open an account, and you can design t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. And I've done this, and I have a product out. I'll promote it later. I just don't have it with me. I don't have the product myself yet to demonstrate, but I'm working on it. You can see a link below to that product, but I'm working on it. And eventually, this will be a line of products called Loathsome Toad brand, and these are emotionally based emotionally based clothing that will help you express your emotions to people. Like what I have is a shirt that says "Today ain't the day," has a toad on a toadstool, drinking a beer, smoking a cigar. On the other side is a toad that says "Wrong toad, wrong day." And I when I learned about Amazon merch, I got on this computer, my Mac laptop, and I used I was subscribing to the creative, what do you call that thing? Creative Cloud. So I designed the shirt on it's on the tip of my tongue. Okay, and this type of thing, this is stress. This is stress, heat, being unable. That's something that unable to process things, unable to remember things. Memory loss. That's a huge example of why to quit weed right there. Short-term memory loss, and getting stumped by those terms. These are things you'll see less of. I am 100% on that. I'm confident in that. That's got to go away. These might be neural deficits. These are going to go away. These are things that hypnosis helps with. These are things that the diet helps with. They all help with this. So you will see me. I'll be sharper, and I won't be smoking ever. I'll be sharper. Won't be vaping the weed, and I'll be clear-headed. You need electrolytes as well. Every day you should have lemon water. Gives you very cheap electrolytes. 50 cents a lemon. Chop it in half. 25 cents. For a quarter, you get the electrolytes you need. You need that shit. So trust me, if I were to have lemon water, this would roll a lot better. In fact, I'm going to demonstrate this, how electrolytes work, and we'll see if I'm clear-headed when I turn the camera back on. But I'm going to turn it off now and get some electrolyte. Curmudgeons. People that are curmudgeons. Oh. Yeah, I'm just not liking that I stopped the video. Now I have to splice it together using Apple Movie, iVideo, or whatever. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, as you can see, there still is a little. Now let me open the window. Get that fresh air moving through, and you can see another trick when you get overheated. It's too hot in here. It's getting hot. The summertime is coming. It's coming fast. We have two modes now. It's like we have summertime and wintertime, and there's nothing in between because of global warming right now. So I would say that that's accurate. We get, and it may never improve. We are optimistic. We have to be, but we have to realize this could be a thing forever, and we're just going to have to adjust to it. Okay, if we live at all. I'm very confident that the universe wants us to live, because as you can see, things die and things come back, and it's always been that way, and I'm really sure that we'll live in some capacity, even if not here. This particular world is very hard, man, and as you can see, like, things are really hard. You know it, and I know it. It's hard. But as you can see, the age of the show is upon us for this episode. I only talk until I make sense, and when I stop making sense and when I stop adding anything of value to share with you, I'm done. I'm done speaking. So I appreciate your attendance, certainly, and one day I guarantee there will be better material, more thought out, with all that practice behind me, all of that therapy practice and all of that hypnosis practice, maybe getting some therapy myself, because nobody's perfect, and I'm not perfect, sure. And you can see there's some negativity there. The negativity is largely pathological, comes from the mentally ill kid. The mentally ill kid had no idea that was coming. Was a writer, a curmudgeon, and a writer that was lost on the tracks of life and had to do things to survive, like I still have to continue to do, to exist in this workaday world, and you hate it, but you have to do it to survive, because slavery is upon us, wage slavery is still here, and we just have to do it. So, being unhappy in life like that, it has its costs, and that's the reason for the mentally ill kid, the mental illness and the mentally ill kid that you have. I wasn't mentally ill as a kid, I'm just talking as a 30-something. When I was 30, I started having mental illness. And it's stigmatized, but they called me a schizophrenic just because they had to call me something to bill insurance, which really damaged my life, by the way. But when I read the DSM, yes, it does match some of the criteria for schizophrenia, so the title was accurate and applicable, and it just was. But I'm 100% certain you can recover from schizophrenia, or schizophrenia, which people call it. And as obviously I've talked enough. This is a very emotional subject. People don't want to talk about their mental illness. They don't want to relive these days. And so, for being quote-unquote mentally ill, I'm not terrible, but I'm not perfect. I see that. And I see all the negative self-talk. I see that. I'm aware of that. And that's something that I will move mountains to change, because that cannot be in therapy. That cannot be something in therapy. And the blind leading the blind doesn't work. And for me to even practice therapy, these issues must be resolved. At least a great deal of them. But thank you so much for joining me in sharing you the news that I'm becoming macrobiotic, that I'm moving from the lowest rung of my life ladder into something much better. You know, if you saw me a couple years ago, I would be quite crippled by my illness, and I would be less vibrant, less charismatic than I am today. And it's a progressive thing, and you'll see it. The curve just continues this way. It might be a bell curve. It might level off in some way. So like I'm not saying it will level off in terms of me being back in loserdom, but if it goes on forever like this, maybe there would be consequences. So it might sort of level off in some ways to where practicality and pragmatism, you know, are fully intertwined with the spiritual aspects, making us more functional. So thank you for watching this for whatever it's worth. Still haven't figured out what it's worth. When you talk randomly and you don't have a script and you don't plan your life out and you don't have outlines, you can see things go to shit. So when I start doing the planning, start doing the writing, and cover points, bullet point, you will see an improvement. And that is because of science, that is because of education, and thank you very much for all of the above. Have a great day, and namaste, and la catch.